I started selling cars. I started selling a Land Rover. I registered Chasing Cars as a business in 2017. I've been doing this for 20 years.
20 years.
So this didn't happen overnight. This color is quite special. This car, the color is called Nagara Blue. There's only a few of them in the country. This is the V10 Plus. So it's a naturally aspirated V10. This car will retail at 2.35 million rand. We had a Lamborghini Aventador. They only made 11,500 of those cars in the world, ever. It's 620,000.
Lamborghini or a Ferrari? Good everybody, my name is Tony, back with another video, guys. In today's video, we at the Chasing Cars, man. We're about to meet Mr. James, one of the co-founders of this company. It's an exotic car company, they're selling exotic cars, things like that. So yeah, man, let's get inside and let's hear how he started this business. I'm doing good. Please, tell us about yourself. How did you get into this business of selling cars, and where this actually started?
I actually had no intention of ever getting into cars. I'd started a law degree and I decided I didn't want to do it anymore, so I stopped and went to go see somebody that I knew that was in the motor industry. I started selling cars. I started selling a Land Rover. I was at Land Rover for 13 years. And then when I left, I decided to go on my own. I registered Chasing Cars as a business in 2017. And initially what we were doing, my business partners and I, we were buying and selling between dealers. We were more wholesaling than retailing. But we realized that market had become smaller and we were placing cars at other dealerships and carrying all the risk but splitting profits. Between the four of us, we decided to open up a showroom. And Chasing Cars as a brand was born, and that's how we got to where we are today.
I know cars you sell are very expensive. How did you able to raise the funds of actually buying? You see a Lamborghini there. Those cars are very expensive.
I wouldn't really be able to give you an answer on that, to be honest. It was like you got to find investment and use the banks for floor plan to be able to buy cars. But yeah, finding the investment, being disciplined with your money, and that's the only way you're going to do it. It takes time, but once you get there, I've been doing this for 20 years.
20 years.
So this didn't happen overnight.
No.
For me, nor my business partners, we've all been doing this for a long time.
When it comes to entrepreneurship, what's the best thing you've ever learned in your whole career of being an entrepreneur? What's the biggest lesson you've ever learned?
Being an entrepreneur, the biggest lesson, the hardest lessons is cash flow. That's the hardest lesson, is making the money work efficiently and consistently. The ability to be able to market or create a brand was something that came quite naturally. And those aspects of it, that was easy. I love branding, I love marketing, I like to be able to have a presence in the market. But the hardest part is cash flow and managing the money. And I think if I could redo it all over again as a young person, I'd probably study some kind of business degree. It would help a lot.
Oh. Sometimes they've been telling us, school actually, it really doesn't help when it comes to you if you want to chase success.
I think school is a foundation that allows you to understand boundaries, parameters, and rules and regulations. It doesn't encourage individualism to say, well, you may not be a kid that excels at a subject naturally, but you've got the ability to hustle. So you can sell something at break and make a bit of money, and that's entrepreneurship. And it doesn't encourage that. There's a few subjects now in modern sort of curriculum. I think maths lit is better than actual maths, and I think the business subjects that are offered as well also give a nice, that adds more value to a kid who's going to learn a bit more about business. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that, really.
How do you define success in your eyes?
Success.
What is success?
Success is more personal than anything else. Success is how you feel when you wake up every day, whether you're adding value to the world, be it financially, giving people job opportunities, or doing what you love. That's success. People measure it sometimes by how big your house is, that is success, but it's not necessarily what would drive me. Success is trying to find a balance between work, personal life, having a footprint in the market, but also having a good family home.
We also wanted to, maybe you can show us your 2 favorite cars or 3 maybe.
Cool. Well, let's go. Let's start here, actually. I've got my 2 favorite cars on the showroom at the moment. If I had to compete them one against the other, would be this one, which is the Mercedes AMG GTS. And this car is built to take on the Porsche 911. The 911 has been around for 60 years, I think. Whereas this car was the only, from the ground up, AMG built motor car. The first one that AMG built without any influence from Mercedes was the SLS Gullwing and the Roadster. It was quite expensive, so Mercedes had to come up with something a little bit cheaper to build, and they built this car, literally built it to take on that car. And they both outstanding motor cars. If I've got them parked next to each other and you have to choose which one I want to drive, it depends on my mood, not because one's better than the other. This car is like a bit of a beast of a car. It's a driver's car. It allows the car to get a little bit wild. It feels wild. It's big. Whereas that's German engineering, and it's very, very disciplined, very clinical in its delivery, but an amazing car to drive. It's really down to your preference of what you feel like for the day.
How many Newton meters in this one?
This car, off the top of my head, to be honest, it probably makes around 700 Newton meters of torque. Top speed is around 334. The Porsche is about the same in terms of top speed. It doesn't make as much torque, but it's very similar on performance.
But it is a nice car, though. It is a nice car.
It's a stunning car.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is value for money for this kind of price tag at 1.4 million rand. It is a lot of car for that amount of money.
This car costs
1.4 million rand. It's the most underrated sports car in the market. A lot of people don't know it. So when they see it and they experience it, our clients come in to buy a car and they may not have ever considered this, but once I sell them the concept and let them drive the car and explain how the car works, they'll buy the car.
Okay, let's go to another one then. Okay.
So which one else? Which other one do you want to look at? Let's look at maybe the R8.
Okay. There's the blue one too.
Yeah. So this color is quite special. This car, the color is called Nagara Blue. There's only a few of them in the country in this color. This is the V10 Plus. So it's a naturally aspirated V10, but the Plus, you get a standard and then a Plus version. The Plus version will come standard with carbon ceramic brakes. It has an upgraded power system, a lot more carbon trim, and it just gives you that little bit of an extra edge. In terms of
power,
durability, reliability, and power, this nails everything. It's a car that you can take to the track, do consistent track times, and then drive it home. So it kind of nails everything.
So how much this one cost?
This car will retail at 2.35 million rand.
So this one is extra.
$1 million more than that car.
So this one has more power than that one?
They're similar. So when you look at these cars, a lot of the stats, when you look at what they produce, are very similar. But the drive feels completely different in all of them. And it's really about driving a car is what's going to make you excited. So when you get into every car feels different. One car will feel like you're in a cockpit, like you're a pilot. Another car will make you feel like you're in a racing car. So it's what's going to make you most excited. It's literally what you could drive 3 cars in a row next to each other, and the one might go, this is the one, if money was no option.
Okay. Well, this one is a really nice.
Yeah, it's like I said, I mean, they completely different cars, but they both make you excited.
Okay. So how many talk in terms of
Can't
pounds?
ask me these things offhand. I sat on passion and what excites me. The
Okay.
stats, most of the people who come buy these cars, they know what these cars can do already. They've done their research. My job is to sell the concept and the excitement around the vehicle.
So do you only sell or do you also rent out?
No, only sell.
Only sell.
Only sell.
Okay. So so these 1, 2, 3 are your only favorite cars.
They're not my only favorites. I love cars. So, then you get Italian cars. The Lamborghini, the Ferraris, those cars, the Maseratis.
Yeah.
Completely different in terms of their style, their power delivery, and what they present. Ferrari is probably one of the most beautiful cars to look at in the world, and particularly the one that's over there. That's a 458 Speciale. The 458, when it was built, was probably, for me, still one of the best looking Ferraris they'd ever built. And that car has now been in manufacture since 2011, and it hasn't dated. It still looks fresh.
So how many of them do they build?
In the Speciale like
Yes.
that, not many.
Not many.
No. So there's the normal 458, there's a few around. But when you say a few, I mean, you look at how many people are in the world and how many Ferraris are produced. Even though Ferraris ramped up their production to keep up with market trends and they're having different derivatives, they got hybrids, they got naturally aspirated, they got supercharged. The cars, even though the volume seemed quite big for an exotic brand, when you consider how many people are in the world, it's tiny, so it's very niche market, and it's special to be able to own one. We had a Lamborghini Aventador. In the period of that car's production, they only made 11,500 of those cars in the world ever. So out of all the billions of people, only 11,500 people ever were able to buy that car new, and that makes it very special.
So when it comes to luxury cars, like that type of cars, do they actually increase on the price, or when it comes to investment in supercars?
So it's difficult to say which ones will go up. But right now, in terms of supercars and future investments, anything with naturally aspirated engines, V8s, V10s, V12s, are very desirable because the manufacturers have stopped building those cars. And now what they're doing is hybrids, which is a combination of petrol combustion and ICE, which is the internal combustion engine, and electric motors. That concept, they produce very powerful cars. So the Ferrari SF90 makes 1,000 horsepower from factory,
Okay.
which is massive, right?
It is.
So for future value, to answer your question, anything with a naturally aspirated engine will become collectible. If the mileages are kept correctly, if the car is maintained correctly, that's how the future value will be dictated. If you modify a car, value's gone.
Okay, so I could buy. I see this one is kind of rare, to be honest. I haven't been seeing it more than, because I've been seeing a Urus and an Aventador
Yeah.
more often compared to this one.
So the crazy thing about that car is that's Lamborghini's biggest producing car they've ever made. They made more cars of that brand, of that particular nameplate, than any other. And it actually saved them from bankruptcy, the Gallardo. So they built a car that was an everyday supercar that was drivable, and they sold it in volume, and it put them back on the map. So they can still build their very specialized, unique, niche market cars. That car is old, but if you drive that car on the road, you'll get more attention than any other car on the showroom floor.
So I could simply buy it then next day and sell it again.
Yeah.
Make profit.
You'll make a bit of money, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm also curious about that one too. The old one.
The old MG.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a post-war production car. It was built in 1947,
1997. Okay. So.
and this is a car that's had a restoration. It's still got the original wooden chassis. This is how they used to measure the petrol in the car. So you would dip it into the petrol cap, and you'll be able to see how much fuel you have in the car.
Yeah.
So that's how old these cars are. And this car, it's a beautiful car. It's really light. You can maneuver around very easily. It drives beautifully. So it's something that, there's a few of them around, so they're not super rare. But for guys who want to have something different to drive on a Sunday, and they don't want to go fast, this is the car. So there's a whole community of people who collect and love these motor cars.
I see this one is a collective. So how much this one costs?
This one will sell at 620,000.
Honestly,
So, like I say, there's a few of them around, so it's not super rare. If it was super rare, These cars can be anything from 600,000 to 20 million rand, depending on the rarity, the condition, and the demand in the market.
Oh, okay, okay. I was just curious about this one. No, okay, okay. So this one could be an investment too when it comes to cars.
It is an investment. You're not going to lose money on it, but where it is now, it's made money. So it will take another 10 to 15 years before it makes more money. So the cars go in ebbs and flows. Car might reach a peak at some stage now, like the fluctuation in the Ferrari market. 2 years ago, they were fetching massive prices. Last year, they hit a bit of a slump. Now they're going up again. It's dependent on market conditions, but also the appetite for people in the market. So there are cars you're going to make money on, and other cars you roll a dice and you see if you make money. But most of the guys who are collecting now know exactly what they're buying.
You know, the biggest question me and my friends were having a big debate: Lamborghini or a Ferrari? Which one? Do you think is the best, Lamborghini or Ferrari?
I think they're both very special cars, but having driven both and the opportunity to drive an Aventador, the Aventador is probably one of the most special cars I've ever driven. You feel like you're a fighter pilot in a machine that is just crazy. It's noisy, it's big, it's fast, it's got everything going for it, and it's just an amazing car. Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to clear that out because we've been having this debate like last year. Okay, but anyways, what's the best advice you'd give out to anyone, the young entrepreneurs there who are watching this video, who want to get into this type of business that you're into?
You have to start within a dealership to understand and learn the business. So I was lucky that I had the opportunity to get straight into a brand like Land Rover, which some people take many years to get to. But I was in the right place at the right time. But the concept of, yes, you have to get into a mainstream franchise, understand the business. You can be entrepreneurial, but if you don't understand how this business works, or any business that you want to be invested in, you're not going to have success. So you have to start, understand, learn, have the ambition and the drive to know that this is not going to be the rest of your life. You work in a dealership for a franchise, that it's a stepping stone for you to learn and understand the trade and then apply it with your own business. And being an entrepreneur, you have to take a gamble.
So it's all about risk taking.
Yeah, but you try and mitigate your risk, and you don't be crazy and go, okay, I'm going to throw everything into this when it doesn't feel right. You've got to have done enough in your life to go, right, this feels right now, and I'm going to give it a go, and then roll the dice and take the gamble.
So, and before we close this video, I just want to be clear on this. What makes an individual to be actually successful? Does actually passion works, or you just need to have the skill and just take it serious, even if you don't have passion for that kind of thing you're doing, but you can still be successful, or you need to have passion?
It's a mixture of both.
Okay.
It's a mixture of both. So what made me enjoy what I did in this business was my most fun part of it. The part that I love the most is selling and closing deals, because that's a technique that you learn over time. You understand who you're dealing with quite quickly. Some people are very analytical and the numbers of what they want to know. I like asking statistics on the car. Other people are emotional buyers, and those are the easy ones because those you capture with, you sell them the whole philosophy and the excitement of the car. So that's what drove me. That's my best part of the job, is to be able to close deals and sell the cars. And to be able to close a deal means you've got the price you've wanted, but the person buying the car also feels like he got a deal. And you shake hands and you build relationships, and what will make you successful moving forward is having relationships where people continually want to deal with you in the future.
So how do you actually find clients for this? Because I know not everyone can afford this one, or the Lamborghini, or the Ferrari there, or this one. So how do you manage your clientele?
It's all about marketing. So you use the major platforms. When people want to search for cars, generally the one they go to is Auto Trader. It's the 5th most searched platform in South Africa. partly because a lot of people just love cars and they love looking at it, so they qualify as search history, but actual penetration to buyers, this is a specific market. Guys know what they want. They go on the internet and see, oh, okay, so there's, let's say, 7 Ferrari FFs available. Mine might be the lowest mileage, best color one, and it all depends on what they're looking for. Then you got to get them here, and you entice them in by sending them videos on the car, showing the environment that we work in, and that instills confidence. And then they come, and if you're able to close the deal.
Oh, okay. Thank you for allowing me to come here.
No
Thank
worries.
you for allowing us to.
Okay, brother.
Thank you very much.
Cool.
Yo, guys, this is the end of the video. Please don't forget to subscribe, share, and comment down below on what you learned on the video. And please don't forget to subscribe, because let's get me to 1,000k subscribers before the end of the year. So yeah, man, please don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, with the Chasing Cars, we thank you for allowing us to interview you guys. Thank you.